Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today I have a great battle for you in the Delart thorn, and this rank 3 battle rating 5.0 Swedish medium tank has one really great selling point, and that is that it has a partial auto-loading system, or let's say a very fast loading system that you almost can be forgiven to think it is an autoloader. Now, it has a 75mm PVKAN M43 cannon, 42 rounds of ammunition, one 8mm machine gun, and the armor on this tank is not really worth talking about a lot. I mean, there are some 60 and 55mm platings, but it's mostly rather flat. Side armor 30mm, it has a huge profile. It almost looks like a small version of the automatic, and so I think that gives a little bit away its reload potential, because you have in the ready racks 3 shells, 1 in the breech, and you can fire off those 4 rounds with a time delay of 3 seconds. And then we have to talk about the ammunition. Now, obviously, showing here this firepower versus Russian heavy tanks is you quickly get tired. Okay, it's not really bad, and I think it is a competitive gun, and it must not have more penetration, otherwise, you know, you have the problem that the reload with the high penetration would make for a problem. So the stock shell is the SLPPRJ M41 AP round. 139mm of penetration, 815 meters per second mass velocity. It's not the greatest, but it's kind of usable. Then we have the HE shell, 10mm of penetration, 840 meters per second mass velocity. And then as a rank 4 upgrade, there is the SLPGR M43, 890 meters per second mass velocity, 149mm of penetration, and 110 grams of bursting charge. So that is really, really nice if you can one-shot your enemies and then also trick them around the corner because they think you have just fired, and you have, you know, an average reload of somewhat between 7-8 seconds, and then you have instead only 3 seconds of reload. So rather bad shot here versus the SU-57, but it doesn't really matter because we have a second one, and on the move we only take the driver, but the side armor is so weak that we also get the commander. And another shot, double kill, AC4, beautiful. And that's already 4 kills. And this is the secret position from the northern side for this map, to create a little bit of a crossfire where the enemy has to decide where to go through. You also can harass the tanks at A, and it is really a very flexible position that you must not underestimate. And then farming tanks in the open, that's already the ace. Beautiful. So I had a lot of good battles in this tank, but again, very often the way that I died was a little bit in a high tier manner. My gun breech was taken out because it's so long and rather big. Again, one of the remnants of the remembrance of the automatic, where also your gun breech could take a lot of damage. Then that's kind of it. That's all that you need to know. Now, there are 2 things that come into play. If you fire relatively often, you then can expand really easily your ready rack, and then it goes into a longer reload. But it's not really crippling. I don't know how long it is. Is it 4 seconds? 5 seconds? It's still pretty good. And even if you then have your ammo rack full, or your ready rack, and you just simply, how should I say, oh, that's bad. Again, the gun breech absorbed all the damage, and now I have to escape here and make a run for it. The shot narrowly missed me, and then I also received some goodies from A. So at this point you can already repair. This is something that you need to keep in mind. 23 seconds of repair because we're still in full force when it comes to the crew member, of which we have 4. So it's a fragile glass cannon, that's what I would call it. And again, you see often up tiers versus 5.7s, 5.3s, even 6.0s in theory, although I have never seen that kind of up tier. Now, when you're fighting the Germans with that kind of penetration, you must carefully aim versus panthers and also versus angled tigers. Although you still can go through the cupolas and the turret rings, you know, the usual weak spots. Beautiful. So, this tank really shouldn't be played as a kind of Rambo type, you know, going in and slaughtering everything. Now here, I hope that I could trick out that T-34 in front of me, because I just farmed that T-34, but it just got again hit into the gun breech, but not quite fully, and so the shrapnels that kind of missed the gun breech killed 2 of my crew. And that is bad. So another factor is that you always have to play around a capture zone if you really want to continuously fire that fast. Much like the automatic, when you reload a shell, it goes directly into the ready rack. So this is very comfortably then to have again quickly available. And if you have only 2 crew members available, you got your 1 crew member back, and then you get another crew member lost, so you stay at 2. The reload is still fairly good. I'm again not quite sure, 5-6 seconds. Again, for a fully trained expert crew. So here the IS-1 just deleted my Panzer IV-H, and I just have no idea where that IS-1 was. As I think you know, there was something that looked like an IS-1 in the vicinity of A, but I think that this was a KV-85. The turret looks very similar, but the hull is different. So anyway, I still think to myself, well, I got shot here quite often, so maybe there is a tank, and indeed, there was an M4A2. Beautiful. 8th kill. So, not every battle goes like this, but if you have a team that keeps on pushing, that has also a good awareness, and they just keep kind of the balance there, and there we saw the IS-1 that now just pumped the shell into the ridgeline, and there then I saw a muzzle flash of a tank that was previously behind the bush from my point of view. And can we delete him? We only kill the commander. That is surprising, and no, we can't make the next shot. Okay, that is not good. I need to push here, and I hope that my Jagdpanzer IV just might survive it. Okay, this is where it gets intense. Come on, where is he? I have no idea. Where is the Avenger? Okay, the Avenger killed a Panzer IV-G. What happened? Okay, KV-1 deleted the Jagdpanzer IV. Oh, there he is. Come on. Oh, the rather slow turret rotation speed of at maximum 15 degrees per second kicks in. And, oh, yeah. But I know that the Avenger also has a rather slow reverse speed. So I block his capturing of the capture zone. Artillery strikes are coming in, and I also drop an artillery strike behind this building. I can see barely anything, and while I get kind of a lot of supply or resupply from my teammates, there are still kind of a lot of distance away, and they have no line of sight towards the potentially enemy's tanks. Bomb got dropped in. I see the marker now. More artillery is raining down. Because, you know, the deck armor or the roof is also not really able to withstand here the incoming 152mm artillery shells that are raining down. If you haven't noticed them, they are, I think, 152mm. And then the Panzer IV-H comes to my rescue and kills the Avenger. And now, I just slide behind this building and capture here in peace. That was a very hard fight. But then the IS-1 is there and then kills a Panzer IV, and another Panzer IV falls victim to the KV-1. Oh boy, that's not good. So we captured it, and I get a crew member back. I also refill the ammo rack and just wait. And I pray that none of the artillery shells are hitting me. Because so far, that was an intensely fought battle. I was on the front line, I was creating a crossfire, I was kind of flanking, I was harassing tanks at A, I cost the enemy dearly, and I just don't want to throw this away. This must be a good battle. Mark my words here, because at the end we will see what happens. Anyways, so again, I'm very curious to see what's around this ridgeline, and if there is something at A. I can't see anything, but I just hesitate A few more seconds. Do we see somebody coming in again from their spawn? Don't see anything. Okay, seems good to go. And now the top speed comes in of this tank. And it's not really super fast, but I think it's what? 45 kilometers per hour, and you have a 410 horsepower strong engine propelling the 23.5 ton tank to a acceptable speed. The acceleration on flat terrain is decent, but it's only 6 kilometers per hour backwards. And there again disaster strikes, and then I was also pretty lucky twice that the MX-13 FL11 got not killed with my first shot and only took the commander, but then that I reversed fast enough that he whiffed the shot to where the position I was before. And so again I advance across the open field, ram here a Panzer IV F2. He seems to have spotted something here in the distance, and hello there. What are you? Well, seems like my next kill. 9 kills, okay. I also want to get my fair share here of this cap, and so again this is a rather aggressive move. I'll risk it here, and I hope that the rest of my team is good enough of a distraction to get me here into the cap, and yep, looks like it. Okay, we see a target. Can we aim at him? Seems like either he is already dead or he just spawned. And then, well, I was glad he wasn't shooting the side of my turret, because it's also rather thinly armored, as I said, only 20 millimeters. So that's my double ace. Great, right? But maybe a bit more. Maybe a bit more. Now we have all the objectives. We have complete map superiority. We're about to win. We have more people alive in tanks that just have a handful left. Come on. Come on. For YouTube. A few more kills. For YouTube. For science, if you will. So I think that this tank is really cool. But again, when it comes then to the autoloader that this tank has, or it's not an autoloader, it's just a very fast first ammo rack. I'm not quite sure. It's again feeling a bit like a feature creep, but you know, new tech trees, they need new flavor. And what do we get here? Well, seems like we can farm here something with the machine gun. Good stuff. We see another one, another. And the tank just spawned in. I get the kill, but get killed in return by the M4A1. I thought I have that extra more second, and that is 12 kills, 4 assists, and 2 caps right at the end of the battle with just under 4,000 score points. And the fruits of our labor of distributing APAG shells into enemy tanks is kind of pretty cool. This is a tech tree tank at battle rating 5.0. There were no boosters applied, and we got over 7,500 RP and 100 and nearly 3,000 civil lines with some good awards. And this is really, really a nice battle that I just played. I had fun playing it. I hope that you had fun watching it. I had some more great battles in this tank, but this one was just simply the best that I got. And again, I despise city maps, but on open field maps, I just know where to go. So without further ado, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, give it a subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves in the skies and on the battlefields of War Thunder.